So as I said, the last thing that well, not really the last thing, but the next thing that we need to do is we need to bind the geometry to our skeleton. So nothing could be easier. So what you need to do is you grab your buggy bot mesh and then grab your joints, all of them. Well, actually you don't really need the final one. Well, just go with it, okay? So let's do that. Let's grab that one and that one, that one and that one. Make sure that they're bright orange, not just a little bit orange, okay? Bright orange we need. So every single joint, we don't really need the end joints, but it doesn't hurt. So I use the shift one to grab all these, and then don't really worry about the root. All we want is the joints, and then with command I use the buggybot mesh, and that is it. And then under character commands, there's something called bind. And let's just click on bind and let's see what we get. Okay, now let's see what's happening there. Let's go and get the body controller in there and have a look what's happening. Now you see all that deformation there in Buggybot's face as we move along. Ooh, that's not good. So the legs look pretty good though, but the body is certainly not right. So we want to fix that in a minute. Okay, so the next thing is we got this weight tag here now, and we need to, well, first of all I want to control Z this one, the moving here. Okay, so even now in the original position we have stuff that isn't super pretty. Even there we have a little bit of deformation that we don't want, because it's a robot, it's totally stiff. Nothing we can do. Anyway, so we have this new tag now, and there are two things that we need to do. We need to weight paint our little buggy bot. So first thing that we are going to do is, so we need to essentially say which part of the mesh is going to be affected by which joint. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to get in the manager, the weight manager, and there we go. So let's just go to the major joint there. And it gives us in red an indication of what's affected by that particular bone. So obviously we want that to be way more than that. So let's go here and have our little, that's our polygon tool. That's our polygon tool, and we are going to select everything. Control A. We also have all the bones, which is not quite really what we want, but that's just okay. So go on the buggy board and Control A gives us every single bit that we've got so far, and we obviously don't want that. So we grab our live selection tool, and with Control we swipe across all the other bits, make sure that in our options only visible is deselected. Okay, so let's do that again. Control and swipe across. So I don't want any of that, and I don't want any of that, any of that, any of that. Draw them all out, and hopefully that's all we need, and it's nice and clean. Let's do that on the other side here as well. Nice and clean. Nice and clean, all gone, all gone. And now there's something that's called UF. So that's selection, and then we have F, field selection, that's F. And then we just click on the, oops, click on the loop. What's going on here? Sorry, Control, I want to get rid of that one. Got the wrong key there. Okay, here again. So we want to get rid of all these spheres, which is good, and they all respond as one, and we want those spheres that come out of the body there as well, because we want them to move with the upper leg. So let's get rid of all these, and on the other side as well. So there and there and there. Now that should be nice and clean. If we just close the weight manager for a minute, we have everything we need, except we shouldn't, oh no, we are not good here. So let's use 0 then, and Control and make sure only visible elements is deselected. And I think, oops, I think we are good with our selection, but obviously we don't want the antenna there to move either. So let's go into the front view, F4, and deselect the top bits here. Don't want any of those. Let's go back to our perspective view and make sure that we are grabbing all the bits that are important. Okay, so I don't want going 9 for direct selection tool. I don't want these, I don't want these, I don't want these, and I don't want these. And that bit here is fine. So we just want the major bit there. The antenna can go differently. Okay, so back to our weights manager, and then we just grab our joint 1 tool. We put the strength to 100%, and then we say apply selected. Okay, now all of this should be fine. Now let's just get out of this one and actually have a look what happened there. So we are going to go back to our, well, our body controller, use our move tool, and have a look if it's still deforming. Let's switch off our the snapping tool, body controller, and now let's move that about. And I think my computer is thinking, which is not great, but that's just how it is. And let's, oh yeah, no, sorry, we need to be back on the model selection. And now, come on. Nice computer, here we go. Okay, and look at that, there is nothing happening. Perfect. We got it all sorted there. So actually, I was actually wondering if we can leave it at that, because unless somebody sees something else missing. Hang on there. We are not quite right there with the end legs, but the top legs are just fine. So what we're going to do, so let's Control Z here and Control Z again maybe. I don't know how many Control Z's. Let's just go with that one. And now obviously you just need to do the same again for the other bits and bobs. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to select, use my buggy bot, use my polygon selection tool, use UF for field selection, click on that one and click on that one with shift. This time I want to have all these to be connected to the right leg 1. Okay, go back to our character, go back to manager, go back to weight manager, find right leg 1 joint and apply to selected 100%, and you just do that for the rest of the leg as well. So again, I'm going to use that selection here. That's still UF, nothing has changed. UF for that joint and shift for that leg, and then I use the bone 1 down and I say apply selected. Fantastic. And then I do the last bit here and also the last leg bit, so that joint and the last leg bit, and I say apply selected. Here we go. Get rid of that weight manager, save just for safekeeping. And if I go back to my body controller and make sure that I'm in the model selection, click on the body controller and use my move tool. It didn't quite do what I wanted it to do. Now that's a bit funny. Anyway, we are almost there and I'll find out what happened here.